What's up, guys? Welcome back for another episode of the GhettoRig podcast, episode 160. Someone help me out here. 164. Okay, episode 164, guys. For those who don't know, my name is Eddie. To my left, you have my co-host Jay, and behind the cameras, we have Miggy.
Yo.
So we're gonna start off today with the podcast question of the day. And we're gonna start this new segment. Jay, the question today is a "Would you hit it?" question, and the the topic is sexy red. So Jay didn't even remember what sexy red looked like.
Yeah, let's bring her up on a camera on an interweb.
Everybody knows what sexy red is. Don't dodge the question. Are you hitting or not?
Look it up.
Yeah,
I am, but I need him to answer the question here.
Well, how I'm gonna answer the question without looking at her?
You've seen sexy red. Don't act like you
No,
haven't.
put the images up. Put images up. I want to see images.
You are seeing images.
Is that not an image right there?
No,
Sexy
blow
red?
it up.
He wants to see her pussy. I think that's what he meant.
No, I'm not trying to see her pussy. Just blow her up. She has a very pretty face. She does have a pretty face, but all that extra shit on her, I think, just cancels out all the pretty face.
So we're not hitting sexy red. Is that what we're saying?
Did look like a dude in that one.
All right, now if $10,000 were involved,
Now it also depends, right? Doesn't she have a song where she say her butthole and her something butthole?
it's all for the show, Jay. It's all for the show.
Yeah, but she said they stink,
She
right?
said
Or something
no.
like
She
that?
said my pussy pink, my booty hole brown.
Ah, that's what she said. Okay,
Mhm.
I was kind of expected, right? That would be the colors. I mean, I'm just saying. But
You're not wrong.
Go back up.
Those are the colors.
This
That's
is
the
the
color
expected.
palette.
That's the expected color.
So yes
palette.
or no?
I'll go back up.
He's no way. He's still making a decision.
No. Go down. Go back up. Go down. Go
You're
down,
not
a little
hitting
bit,
sexy
go
red,
down,
Jay.
go down. Right there, that first picture with the stars. No, the stars. Yep, that one.
You hitting sexy red, Jay? Big sexy.
Get rid of the chains. Get rid of those fucking click nails. Get rid of that money in her hand.
Click nails.
That stupid whatever outfit she's wearing. Eliminate the tattoos. The stupid weave on her head. Like put normal weave on.
Normal weave.
Yeah. Yeah. If you remove all the tattoos,
So
no,
basically, take away everything that makes sexy red.
that's it.
Be
She
a whole
wasn't
different person.
allowed to speak at high school because she smelled like weed. What do you guys think about that?
I mean,
Where was it?
like
though?
Nate,
Was it
like
Cali?
Nate Diaz said, I'm not surprised, motherfuckers.
Was it Cali? Because in Cali, who gives a shit?
No.
Yeah, but you're also in school still.
Yeah, but it's Cali. It's just like I feel like
You think because it's Cali, you
I
can just
feel
smoke
like
weed in the fucking classroom?
no, but I feel like the stigma. I feel like the stigma in Cali is just
Yeah, but it's still like
A lot
the stigma
less.
around alcohol, right? You can't have alcohol in school either, bro. Like,
And then if she opened her,
she just comes into the school smelling like
I missed a very big point. She would not need to talk. Like if she opened her mouth and she sounded as annoying as in her songs, that would be immediate
So you
turn
know,
off.
so you do know
Like-
who sexy is.
Well, I know the song, obviously. I just
Alright.
don't pay
big
attention.
sexy.
Yeah, like just an annoying voice that she has. Like, she can remove that. We're good.
Kai's drippy. Have you guys seen Kai's drip lately? For the Paris Olympics.
So this is, you mean Kai who?
Kai Cenat.
Oh, I didn't see that. Did you see though that Kai Cenat was hit up by the Secret Service to do streams with Kamala?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Aiden Rose did one with Trump.
Yeah, we didn't talk about that. We were supposed to the other day, but
Yeah, they're trying to, I
the funny shit is the stuff he's been doing lately. So apparently they got kicked out of the penthouse that they had in New York, right? So he got a U-Haul and set up his stream setup in the U-Haul and was doing streams at the U-Haul. Even had who was it that went over there?
Who?
Ice Spice was in the U-Haul, something like that. It was somebody, one of these girls that's big.
Oh, talking about Ice Spice, they were saying that Ice Spice might have a little bit mild retardation.
Why are they saying that about her?
Well, it's her. You pull up Ice Spice.
Damn, that's a badass watch.
That is a badass watch. Pull up the Ice
Apparently,
Spice.
these are the factory diamonds.
Yeah,
Pull up Ice Spice
Bro.
profile picture.
if somebody took a Cartier Crash and put
Diamonds in it.
aftermarket set diamonds in it, they essentially like the watch market would want to kill that person.
So they were saying that, yeah, that pull up that picture where she's like her hair kind of flailing in the air. Down below. No, that's not that one. That one. No, that's not.
Bro,
the
you
one.
say that one like this Cuban
Her
say it
hair,
this, so
hair
my
flailing in the air. So they're saying that her eyes are very slanted, and that the nose bridge is pretty flat, and that's of indicative of Down syndrome. I don't know. That's what they're saying. I don't know if I believe it or not. Believe it or not, I do care about it.
I don't think Ice Spice has Downs, bro.
I don't.
I don't.
She's got a fat ass. She ain't got the downs, dude.
She's lost a lot of weight, apparently. Like she's slimmed up a lot comparative to what she looked like when she first started singing.
So Ozempic works well.
I guess.
Ozempic. Everything's Ozempic now.
Well, not. Well, I mean, yeah, that's what it is. I mean, there are a bunch of celebrities been known doing that.
I don't think Ice Spice would go out of her way to do some Ozempic.
Why not?
She's already know she a baddie.
How is she a baddie, bro?
She a baddie.
By whose standard she's a baddie?
Are you a munch?
A who?
Are you a munch?
I don't even know what that means. I don't know what that means, bro.
You know what a munch
I
is?
don't know what that means. What is a munch? Look at Ice Spice instantly comes up. Nah, you gotta go look up Urban Dictionary. Yeah, there you go. A munch.
Someone whose only use is eating pussy without getting anything in return.
Yeah, no. You would be one though. I could see you being one.
Yeah, girls,
I'll
I don't
Okay.
want him. He's just a munch.
For Ice Spice, sheesh, I'll be a munch.
Nah.
Nah,
I ain't-
bro,
I
you
ain't being a
fries,
munch for
munch.
nobody. I wouldn't be a munch for nobody.
I know Vic would support me here.
Well,
Yeah, that's another simp, okay? So
yeah, yeah. Why would you do that? Nah, they need to deserve that shit. They haven't deserved that shit. Why would you do that? Like, what the fuck? Anyway, but I saw him trying to do push-ups on her sitting on him, and he couldn't do them. I don't know if it was
It was just a joke.
a joke or
It
he
was just
couldn't
a
do it.
joke.
You think he could do push-ups
Yeah.
with Ice Spice on him?
This dude's fit. He could do it.
I don't think he could.
Yeah, he can. He was just
Remember,
acting up.
camera adds 10 pounds, so he's skinny.
Ice Spice dude gotta get. Shit's heavy.
Yeah, but anyway, bro, I can't. Like that. That literally irks me when I hear this type of simping from a dude, bro. It irks me. Like it shrinks my balls,
It's not good. You should probably get that checked out.
bro. You can't be that. Like you can't simp like that, man.
sounds like you got some internal issues.
It's not an internal issue, bro. Like why
You're
would
fighting
you simp?
demons? Just let them
Why-
out. It's all right.
Why would you simp like that over Ice Spice, bro?
She got a fat ass.
Shish.
There are thousands of girls with fat asses. Why Ice Spice?
Because that's the one we see.
That's the one.
Alright.
I'm just fucking with her.
I'm not even gonna respond to this, man. It just makes no damn sense to me. Anyway,
Oh, Adam Sandler just had an interview with Joe Rogan.
he
Really?
did.
That
Yeah.
sounds like something I want to see.
But
It's very
more
fun, it's
importantly,
very friendly. They've known each other for a while now, so they're kind of they started the same club and everything. The
More-
Stitch in Boston.
Trump and Elon Musk had a whole Twitter space,
I heard.
and I was like
They had
40
a
minutes
Twitter
late.
space.
Yeah,
What do you mean, like a live?
They did like they did a
Live.
conversation, yeah,
Mhm.
between each other.
and it was 40 minutes late. They had a DDoS attack on it.
DDoS.
DDoS attack on it. Basically, the way attack works, a lot of people look, hoo, 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 like all the liberal media, hoo, hoo, Elon Musk can figure it out. He fired all these engineers, and I can't figure out. Well, the DDoS, like, I don't care how many engineers you have, they're basically flooding your channels, your servers with data that just kind of hits your servers at fast times. They're able to eliminate that. And I
They
think,
effectively overloaded.
yeah, they're overloaded. And I think by the end of
We're familiar with that in games.
yeah. And
Hackers do that shit.
by the end of yesterday, this morning, that interview was heard by 1 billion. It was viewed by 1 billion. It had 1 billion views on it through different media outlets, right?
Is Elon monetizing that?
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Elon
There are a
can't
couple
pay.
of things.
I don't know if Elon can pay himself like that.
There are a couple of things I didn't like. I didn't like that Elon used X as a platform to have Trump talk on it.
Why not?
Well, because it is a biased way to go about it, right?
In what sense?
Well, because he's gone out and he said that he does support Trump more than Kamala, so on and so forth. And he used this gigantic platform, which is known. X is right now, everyone is talking about X because they all wanted X to fail, and yet X blew up, right?
Isn't everyone trying to use the biggest platforms to get the most advertising out there for them?
They are, but unfortunately, they cannot do anything with X because Elon pretty much says, fuck you, this is a free speech thing. We're going to keep it as middle as possible. We're going to allow the free speech on my platform, right? So he's
Well, but
not
the thing
bending
is-
to anyone.
The thing is, what I'm saying is,
Him
there's
going and talking with Trump don't sound like that on his platform.
it's a lot.
Exactly my point.
What I
Go ahead.
mean is that artists, for example, are coming out and backing these people. Them themselves are a platform because they have a very wide audience. And a lot of these people are true supporters and they'll do whatever they say that's their god.
No, I agree with you, but it looks like a conflict of interest when the owner of the platform that says that this platform should be like even keel brings Trump on, right?
Right.
On the other hand, Kamala Harris has been asked several times to come out on an interview, and she hasn't been to a single interview yet, which, in my opinion, is a very good strategy. Because Kamala Harris is not a very people don't like her when she speaks.
Okay.
So if the Democratic Party doesn't have her speak, that's actually a good thing. So we just have to wait till DNC because she's gonna have to speak through DNC, right?
But that also shows that she's not willing
Correct.
to.
Correct. But she's not a good speaker. The minute she speaks or she has some sort of a debate with Trump, people immediately gonna say, "Nah, this is not happening," right? So
But she's the one who's asking for a debate, and he's the one who pulled out. No.
he just said, "Let's do a debate." She said, "I'm not ready."
She got 3 dates from Trump.
Yeah, and she said, "I'm
no to
not
all of
ready."
them.
No to all of them. I'm not ready. So, but this is what's gonna happen during DNC. You're gonna have Obama's gonna come out talk, Michelle and Barack. Then you'll probably have Joe if he still can talk, and then you'll have Newsom probably talk, and then at the very end they'll say, Kamala, don't fuck this up. These are your words. Couple of sentences. Just say this and leave.
Do you think that they have Biden go through like practices where they have him like go through their script and talk and stuff like that? You imagine sitting in one of those, just sitting there, just like, all right, Joe, this and this and this and this.
How's the
being
ice
like-
cream?
And being like, fuck, we gotta have you say this in 20 minutes.
Yeah. No, yeah, it doesn't.
They're
it's just-
firing me for handling this.
I mean, they were able to get him on cocktails and have him talk, for a minute, but then even cocktails don't help anymore. So just pretty much done, right? But the
do
thing
you
was,
think
it was
the cocktails would help him talk, or
Yeah,
probably
'cause
make
they-
it worse?
so in college I took this class. It was a gerontology class, right? It's basically about geriatric people when they're in these hospices, right? And they'll put you in a hospice. You have about 6 months to live. That they know you have only 6 months to live,
Right.
right? And what the doctors will do, they'll say, okay, we know you only have 6 months to live, but your family's going on an outing, they're going on a boat, but you barely can move. So they'll give them these cocktails of medicine, which will put them on their feet, where they'll go on a boat and have fun and pretty much dance and everything. It's almost like adrenaline type of shot, which now if they had 6 months to live, now they only have like maybe 5 or 4 months to live because that shot just
Used
like
up so much of the
drained.
juice?
Yeah, you kind of like what Wolverine, the last movie, when he kept using that juice and then he ends up dying at the end of the movie. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
Like that's similar to that, right? So that's I think that's what they're giving him. Not to that extent, but that's what they're giving him to
That's
get him
actually
going.
something we haven't talked about is the Wolverine and Deadpool movie since we actually
Well, you watched it now, so we can,
exactly. We got to watch it.
So
There was some really cool cameos in that shit.
yeah, but I wanted to say it was kind of funny when I was listening to it. It sounded like fucking Trump is eating soup while he was talking. Like he had like a
the Elon
like-
Musk interview.
yeah,
I didn't watch
and then
it.
it's either like that he's eating soup while he's talking, or his dentures are not like fixed in a place, and they just kept falling out, and he would be doing like this
Shit.
little like shoo thing. You know what I mean? But overall, I didn't hear anything that he said. Like, you know how Trump talks, man. It's like the entire interview I was saying, like, Trump, shut the fuck up, let Musk talk. Trump, shut the fuck up, let Musk talk. But it's just meant like get a grip, Trump. Like, you can't win if you shut the fuck up. You know what I mean? And that's the That's the thing they're taking with Kamala, right? Now, but talking about like media, so media not being fair, that's actually a good thing that you pulled this up. Miggy, there is another one. I took a picture of it. Um, if you pull that up,
The picture.
yeah, the picture, yeah, that one right there. So this is what Trump said. This is CBS News, right? Former President Donald Trump vows to stop taxing tips would cost the federal government up to $250 billion over 10 years, according to the nonpartisan watchdog group. Trump said this about 2 months ago. I'm going to stop the taxation of the tips. Now Kamala comes out and says, I'm going to stop the taxation of the tips. Same CBS News reports Vice President Kamala Harris is rolling out a new policy position saying she'll fight to end taxes on tips for services and hospitality workers. Do you see the spin they put on the same exact thing? Do you see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
One is in a negative light and the other one is positive light, right? So this was already done, right? And then go back to that video you had up in Instagram where she's kind of like in a main frame behind the desk. Yeah, that right there. This is her when the government was kind of split. It was 50-50 split in the Senate about the tax policy and whatnot. And this tax policy included cutting the taxes off on tips. She was the one that voted for taxes on tips. So it came down to her because it was a 50-50 split. So she was the one that voted for it. And now she retracts back and says, well, I'm not going to do that. Now, granted, that tax offer probably had other implications in it. And the tips were probably a small portion of it. So she kind of voted for the entire bill, but that included the taxation part. So some people can argue now that she's going back, she knew that that's unfair. Now she's going back, she wants to take that out, right, and make it something new. But in reality, you can see that the spin is being put completely differently. So the media is also doing its own like sway thing, right? Like for one or the other one, right? So at the end of the day, and the White House people came out pretty much and said, should we ban this kind of talks, like Elon Musk inviting Trump over to talk, right? Like, should we ban this? Are you fucking serious? Ban it? You know what I mean? Like, they're considering like an idea to like you can't do that, man. Like, the bottom line is this: like, this is what it comes down to. If abortion is important to you, then go vote Kamala. If your country, your border, your safety, security is important to you, then you vote Trump. It's very simple as that. You know.
That sounds like a really bullshit explanation to say.
Well, that's what it is.
That doesn't sound very accurate, Jay.
Well, that's what it is. Because Kamala was in charge of the border. And border is a fucking mess. She was in charge. She could close the border right now, but she won't do it. She could say, fuck it, whatever you guys send that you want, I want this border closed.
So why do you think she keeps it open if you think it's her all the power?
Because they're not getting what they want. You understand the way it works in the back end is like, I'll do this if you do this. So they're saying, okay, well, unless you do this, we're not doing this. You understand? It's like a handshake type of deal. It doesn't really work the way you would think it would work, right? And number two, it just so happened that she's the Democratic nominee that wasn't really chosen, but it just so happened it fell that way where there was no time to choose one, right? Because Joe kind of like got very late into the really late stages, so there was no way to get her elected. Like,
she has been officially selected as a nominee.
She has been officially selected as a nominee by the Democratic Party, right? But she didn't go through when you go through primaries, people kind of choose who's gonna be the running person, right? Kamala didn't have that, so a lot of people kind of saying that. So I can kind of get behind it. I can kind of not get behind it. So I don't really necessarily either way. I feel either way that she's chosen or not chosen. According to United States documents, the president falls off, the VP takes over, right? So at the end of the day, this is the correct way of doing things, right? But the correctest way of doing things is you have a Democratic nominee that gets elected, but it was too late into the, yeah, there was a talk to ban that, and the White House people said that. There was a yes, there was. So, but at the bottom line, the situation is just the way it fell. You know what I mean?
Sounds. I don't believe it, but okay.
In what part?
I don't know. It sounds like you're oversimplifying something that I don't. To me, it sounds like you don't even understand.
In which
In
part?
the political sense of like handshake and all this stuff, I don't believe it's that simple. Like
So
you're saying that she just controls it and she could close it right now if she wanted to.
well,
I don't believe that.
she was sent to control the border. She was named as the border czar.
Okay.
There's a whole thing, but
I get what you're saying, but you sounds like you're oversimplifying it.
well, how else do you do it? How else do you describe this?
The details, which clearly neither.
Well,
of
the
us
details
know.
were this: she's in charge of the border. She can close the border anytime, but she doesn't do it. Why?
Because she can't.
I don't
The
believe
world-
that it's as simple as that.
The world.
I don't believe she can just go close it.
The
and
world
it's her
keeps-
decision.
They can
Instantly,
put out
done.
an executive order to close the border. Only accept United citizens with a United citizen passports that are coming in through the border. Period.
Now you're saying they, which means multiple people.
Well, they have to write the executive order, which goes
They
to
or
the border.
Kamala?
Kamala is in charge of the border, so she writes the law, and the border patrol takes the law, goes down the government chain. Border patrol takes the law and says, okay, if you have a United States citizen passport, you come in. If you don't have a passport, you don't come in.
Okay.
And at that point, you go in there, and now you have to figure out which passports are fake or not.
I get what you're saying, and I've got what you're saying since the beginning. And like I said, I don't believe it's that simple.
Well, I don't know what to tell you.
I don't believe it's that simple that she's going to be the one to automatically make the decision and then it's done.
It's
No.
not. It's
Well, if
there's no
she's
way
in
it
charge of the border, who is in charge of the border?
it's a collective.
Collective of who?
The government and everybody who works under the government.
The government, if this comes down from the president or vice president directly down to the governing bodies of the government bodies
I
gonna
think
say, nah, we're not
think
gonna do this.
I think a decision as serious as who we're letting into the country and who we're not is a decision that's going to be made by more than just one or two people.
Well, it goes through a Senate vote. Obviously, these are the rules. This is how we're gonna do this. But if you're having a crisis at the border, president has the executive right to sign this and say no.
It was talks. It was easy to prove.
Kamala is the border czar. Pull up the video. Pull up the video of CNN, MSNBC saying she's the border czar. The video is in the Discord, bro.
Well, I mean, that's
What are
exactly
you talking about?
But that's exactly what he's saying. That the title given by the media. You're just saying the media was calling her that. You're just you're literally.
It's
saying
also
the
in
same
Well,
thing.
it's in quotation marks.
You guys are
also
saying the
as
same
well.
thing.
What? But okay, but that's the point, that she was in charge of the idea. Why media gave her the border czar. Czar means a king. Like czar is a Russian word that comes from Tsar, from the Russian word Tsar, which means czars were the ones that controlled Russia.
Okay.
Just like, slave, the word slave came from the Slavs, because Slavs were the fucking
Okay,
slaves, and they became the fucking,
Got
the
it.
word slave came around. So Kamala Harris, failed border czar, right? Like that's what media calls her. But the point is that she's in charge of the border, which means she's the king or the queen of the border.
This is America's border czar. A narrator said over images of the vice president dancing, and she's failed us.
Well, this is bullshit. This is obviously BBC shit. They're probably going to put a spin on it.
But that's for every type of media, though.
Well, yeah. Obviously. There's going to be a negative spin on it. So it is what it is. You read the Fox, just another negative spin. You do CNBC is going to be completely other spin on it, right? Everybody's calling her Kamala Harris failed border czar. That's what they call her, right? Like, but the bottom line is she's in charge of the fucking border. So
She's in charge of a whole entire country, dog. It's not just a border thing. If you want things done the right way, you do it yourself. She can't go and just stand there like Gandalf and just be like, "You shall not pass."
well, that's why you have executive orders where you direct.
She can't.
What do you mean she can't? If they sign an executive order,
She's the executive.
correct. She signs the order. Border Patrol.
Vice president.
Correct, because
Vice president can sign that.
she's delegated by Joe Biden to take care of that. She has Joe Biden's delegation to take care of that.
There's no reason why she would ever do that, especially not even at this point, because that still falls under the Biden administration. Any of that bullshit that she does, she's not even gonna touch. She's too scared to even touch that.
Well, that's a different story. Now, thank you very much. Now we're getting to the bottom of this. Okay, so she's afraid to touch it, right? So clearly, she doesn't have that much pull. Her own party doesn't give
She
her
doesn't
that
have
much
enough
pull in
pull.
it. Correct.
Okay, uh-huh.
So if her own party is not giving her enough pull, if that's the case, let's entertain that idea. If that's the case, if her own party doesn't give her that much pull where she's in charge of the border, but yet she cannot make any decisions of the border.
I feel like
she's
I feel like we're in a CNN talk and it's getting boring. I'm not gonna lie to you. But
Yeah,
I'll
but-
let you entertain the idea for a bit longer.
so she suddenly becomes the primary, and she's suddenly the best thing since sliced bread that they've been hiding from us. You understand what I'm trying to say? So if she doesn't have any control, but yet she becomes the best thing now, like there's inconsistency in idea of thought, right? Like how, when, where. But anyway, either way, whether it's this or that, it doesn't fucking matter. This is the situation we're dealing with, right? And at this point, she hasn't gotten any interviews. She hasn't done anything. She hasn't talked to anyone. So, and even Times Magazine put a little whole report out on her, and that wasn't a reporters had to gather her things that she said here and there and put this report together. But they did that.
Well, they're trying to do an interview with Kai Cenat, so I don't know. Maybe she's trying to make sure that's her first outing.
With Kai Cenat?
That'd be hilarious.
I don't know, man. It is what it is. You know, our politics are a little bit messed up right now, but either way, it's gonna be okay. You know, I think we're good. Yeah, we can switch to that.
Do we have another hurricane coming in?
We always have hurricanes coming in at this time of the year. It's
Yeah.
tropic depressions, and this actually explains, because remember we were talking about how they all form, but this is actually a pretty good explanation of how it all happens.
Capital for hurricanes. Florida has been hit by hurricanes more times than any other state in the USA. Hurricanes require two key factors to form: heat and wind. Warm water evaporates and rises, creating clouds and releasing heat, which intensifies the updrafts. These updrafts begin to rotate, forming a powerful tropical cyclone. As it moves, it can develop into a hurricane. There are 5 categories of hurricanes, with Category 5 being the most powerful, such as the infamous Hurricane Katrina. However, once a hurricane reaches land, it quickly subsides without water. As it approaches land, the sea level rises due to storm surge, where strong winds push water onto the shore, causing destruction. Hurricanes also cause devastating strong winds, heavy rains, and tornadoes. Florida is geographically located in the path of most tropical storms, which form in the Atlantic Ocean, the Gulf of Mexico, and the Caribbean Sea due to the warm water and low atmospheric pressure. Why Florida is a capital for hurricanes?
Yeah. So
Florida
I
has been
thought
hit
it's a
by
pretty good
hurricanes
video
more.
just kind of explain what's going on. But we always have tropical storms coming through there, you know.
It's kind of nice that I don't have to do that much hurricane prepping anymore because we got those windows, the fucking impact-proof hurricane windows. So I don't have to put a fucking piece of plywood on top of my windows anymore.
Why does that make you think you don't need to put a piece of plywood on top of your window?
I just don't feel like there's a need to. That shall hold
What, plywood will?
the hurricane-proof windows.
Hurricane-proof windows?
Bro, I'm just saying because I've installed a lot of windows, bro. Not to say they break just as easy, right? Of course, the thinner ones they break a lot easier, but bro, it's still glass at the end of the day, bro. At the end of the day, it's still glass. What they do is it's 2 panes a lot of time to impact windows, and then they like put like the sealant in between. It's supposed to be gas sealed and all this shit or whatever. I don't know, bro. Personally, I don't care if it's hurricane impact or whatever. That's just like an extra, just in case. I'll still probably cover up my windows a lot of times.
Yeah.
Because
So-
if a fucking branch comes flying at that shit, bro, from a Category 1 or 2 hurricane, bro, that
If
done.
if a 2x4
Honestly, dude, at that point, it's just if it's gonna break, it's gonna break no matter what.
If two-
That's what I'm saying.
No, but
when it gets to a point where it's like a hurricane, when it gets to a point where it's like an actual hurricane and shit's flying around, bro, and if it's gonna be that bad,
yeah,
But that's what I'm saying. Fuck a plywood. Fuck everything. That shit
Well,
fucking-
no.
plywood,
Plywood will
in front of it, bro, that's gonna hold because plywood has that flex, it has that give. Now, of course, if the winds are strong enough to move a car into your fucking front window,
It's gonna
that
fucking-
don't matter what you
fucking
put there.
plywood just fly.
The roof's probably gone at that point, anyways. Who cares about a window, bro? Right? Like,
I've been watching completely different subject, but I've been watching Vitaly go around with their favorite celebrities catching
Oh, yeah.
pedophiles. It's
Oh.
funny as fuck.
Talking about that, yeah, I'll come back to there's a 2x4 flying at 150 miles per hour. It's like a fucking bullet.
Yeah, of course.
It's gonna pierce shit,
Yeah.
right? So, But then that's not, these windows are supposed to be installed according to code, which is correct amount of the bolts. If it's a
Yeah,
this, if
but
it's a that.
that's not a big deal, I think, because
If they're not anchored correctly, which you don't know if they are or not,
no, but
unless you did it
the whole
yourself.
thing, if what do you mean if it's not anchored?
Oh,
That doesn't have nothing to do with if it's gonna
we
break
did
or
put
not.
it
Well,
ourselves.
no, break or not, no. But if it's not anchored correctly, like
Well, the whole
something hits-
window's gonna go flying out? I don't think so, bro. Nah. You had to
That
install
shit-
some janky ass windows,
Well,
bro.
no. I'm talking about the frame around the window could be janky.
The whole
and it
frame, so everything was broken. We did everything ourselves.
Not the window itself
Bro,
or the
if it
frame
got-
of the window.
if
The
it got to the
actual
point where
frame
it's-
of the home where the
it-
window
yeah,
goes
I know.
in.
If it got to the point where that shit gets pulled out, bro, the last thing you worrying about is your fucking window.
We broke piece by piece outside the thing, and then we set it in, and we put cement back on that bitch, sealed it. Like that shit.
Yeah,
if that shit breaks, fuck.
Well, but the point is, he's right. I mean, if you got fucking these projectiles flying at it, you probably want to have, just in case, little. The best one is those accordion metal ones, right? Because they're
I've seen those. Those things
Yeah.
are fire.
yeah, those are the best.
You know what we do behind my wall? We take the table that's back there and put it behind the
Yeah.
we literally hang that metal
You know what
table
doesn't work?
on my window.
Putting a cross with duct tape across the window. That doesn't fucking work.
All it does is help if it does break. There's not a
It'll
big
keep the
mess.
shatter. Yeah.
Yeah. Like I've done that a lot. Bro, we've legit done that at jobs where we're like, all right, there's no other option here but to break the window and break the frame apart to get it out, or we're gonna have to break stucco or break drywall. We're
So you
like,
tape
fuck that,
everything up.
bro. Like literally tape all the way across, and then we'll go across the window and break the glass to where it literally just comes out completely together, all shattered but stuck to the duct tape.
That's interesting. Didn't think about that.
So go. Oh yeah. So Vitaly, they interviewed him. I think he came on Fresh and Fit podcast, and they were talking to him about specifically about that. And he was saying, due to the laws, like they can't, like they'll catch this person,
But they
but
can't really do
they
much.
can't do much with it.
The whole entertainment aspect of it, I think, comes from like, do this or I'm gonna call the police.
Yeah.
Do this or I'm gonna call the right. I think that's what they're
Yeah,
doing.
because
with
a
it.
lot of
Pretty
people
much.
don't know this. Like, if they stood up and said, "I'm not doing it," yeah, keep filming. Now you're gonna punch me in the face, and then he ends up suing them.
Yeah,
Like most people don't know what's going on, and these pedos, they could just,
They could just walk out.
they could turn.
they
and
could just
out.
walk away,
Yeah.
and he's gonna call the police, and they could just keep walking.
But there's a group of dudes that does go around and literally will slap
Yeah,
the
I've
shit
seen
out
that.
of them. Like they will slap the shit out of them. I don't know how long this is gonna last until they get sued and whatever.
I watched 3 episodes. I watched the one with Akon, where he sings "Locked Up" while they're fucking taking the guy away, which is fucking genius, hilarious. And then I watched the one with Aiden Ross and Charleston White. Shit's funny as fuck.
Yeah.
Charleston White comes into the Publix, I think it was, and he's screaming, "He's a baby fucker! He's a baby fucker!" Just screaming that shit. That shit was hilarious.
Charleston White is another fucking pro. He
Bro's carrying two fucking sprays of mace, like bear mace, in his pockets.
yeah. Now I
He's
wish
like,
they could.
I'll shoot a motherfucker 15 feet away, 30 feet away. Fuck it.
Yeah, it would be good if they could do something about it, but they can't, because everyone's been on it, right? Like at this point, like, even Kobe Covington went on there. Kobe Covington was on there.
Really?
Ryan Garcia, he
I
had
haven't
like
seen those
boxing
yet.
gloves. He was chasing these pedos with boxing gloves on. But yeah,
That sounds funny. I might have to watch that one next.
I saw one today with Little Pump.
Lil Pump,
There was
Lil
that
Pump
was
was
another
part of
big
it.
one, I think.
Yeah, they've got like the guys from Fresh and Fit have gone there, done that as well. So the bunch of people have collabed on this, and
So speaking of pedos,
mm,
do you guys see Sean Strickland's recent post?
No.
So go to Discord and general chat. The last thing I posted. There's some other stuff there from last week either that we never talked about, but last thing, yep. All right, put your headphones on, Jay. It's quite a little video. We'll talk about this.
So you guys, I put a lot of thought in this video, and fuck it, we're doing it. What I'm saying, it's not fact. I can't prove it. This is an allegation. It may or may not be true. I will just tell you my story, and I will let you decide. So this guy Tiki, he is very connected with the UFC. I mean, he manages everybody from Aljo. He manages everybody. So, I was at a gym. And I don't need to go into details, but something really bad happened with a girl and a fighter. And at that point on, I was like, I will never go back to HB Ultimate. I will never go back to this gym. I think you are the worst of the worst. If you can do that, I'm done with you. So fast forward. Someone comes up to me and says, hey, Sean, you should really let Tiki manage you. He's a great manager. He's very connected. He'll make you a ton of money. And I say, you know what? I will never be in the same room with this guy, much less let him manage me. I don't care how much money he makes me. And there's a guy that heard the conversation. He says, you think that's bad? Let me tell you what he did with this guy's daughter, who I know I've known for years. And I'm like, oh shit, tell me. So he tells me, and I go to the guy that says, hey, you wanted me to manage this guy. Let me tell you this story. And this guy says, fuck, how did you know about that? Right? So I go on Twitter and I make a joke about, like I do. I say, hey, you know what? This guy's a groomer, potential pedophile. This is what I could. It's not confirmed. It's not slander. It's not defamation. This is just what I heard. So I get a word to the bird, the chain, that this guy is thinking about suing me for defamation. Which I don't know how. I'm not saying you did or didn't. I'm just saying this is what I heard. So I reach out to the father of the girl. The girl is married, great life, has kids. And I say, hey, I will pursue this and I will go to court and I will crowdfund this whole thing, but I need to know if you're okay with it, if your daughter's okay with it. Because if you aren't, I'm not going to say one damn word. I'm going to let it die. So he gets back to me and he called his daughter. And his daughter, I guess, was pretty emotional about the whole thing. And she said that we 100% support you. And, you know, he said there are levels to it that she couldn't even talk about because it was that traumatizing to her. So, this is what I know. Do I know if it's true? No. I know that I don't work with this guy. I know that I see this guy everywhere. I see him at events. I see him front row to fights. I see this man shaking hands everywhere. And I know this about him. Do I know if it's true? No. But I've heard it from credible sources, from the father. The girl would come forward. She's married, has a great life, and it's very painful for her. So it's, you know, it's going to be hard going to court, but she's willing to do it. So, Tiki, what I say to you is, if you want to sue me for slander, defamation, I am not slandering you. I am not making this up. This is what was told to me by the girl's father. If you want to sue me, I will crowdfund this, and we will go to court, and I will fight you. And to the point of you suing me, trying to keep my mouth shut, to the point of that, I left that post up for about, 3-4 hours. And I kept Googling Tiki. I kept Googling his name. When is someone going to write an article about what I said? And nothing. Crickets. I can't sneeze without the MMA press writing an article. And I drop a bomb like that and nobody says anything. That is how deeply this man's connected. That is how deeply you have to shut up and toe the line. But Tiki, I will not. I talked to the girl. I talked to the girl's father. We are willing to go to court. You can sue me. We will crowdfund this whole thing, and I will give every dollar that is not fought in court back to you guys or to the victim. Anyways, that's it. That's all I got to say. Bring it on, Tiki. I'm ready for you.
Oh, okay. So first of all, who's taking? What are they talking about? Are they talking about grape, or what is he talking about? When it says father's daughter, how old was this kid? First of all, to begin with.
You're asking a lot of questions.
Uh-huh.
Can we start at the beginning?
Yeah, sure.
Start
Let's start
off.
at the beginning.
Who is Tiki? He said he's a guy who manages a bunch of different fighters
This
in the
is
UFC.
Tiki.
Okay.
I'm guessing this is Tiki.
Yep.
Okay.
So
Okay.
Tiki apparently did something to some girl.
Yeah, but how old was this girl?
I don't think that has
Was
anything to
it
do
a-
with it. I
'cause
think
he's
it has
talking
to do
about
with it
grooming,
being
right?
involuntary.
Yeah, no,
Involuntary.
but he's talking about grooming. Like, what is?
Okay, maybe she was younger.
Yeah, that's what I'm asking. Like, do we know anything about this?
We're
This
just
is what
going
I know,
off
bro.
of what he just told us.
Yeah, this is what we know.
Okay, that's all you know.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought you knew more about this. Oh,
No.
okay. All right. Well, I mean, we need to see what's
My
going
boss just sent me this at the end of the day. He goes, "Yo, look at this shit, Ed. Look at the shit I sent you." And I couldn't look at it. I was with a customer, so he ended up actually showing it to me afterwards. And I was just sitting there. I was putting my stuff together for the end of the day and just listening to it.
on. To Sean.
Yeah,
He sent you the Sean thing.
that same exact video. He sent it to me.
If this was non-consensual, 100% Tiki deserves what's coming to him.
Well, I mean, the whole premise is on that, right?
Yeah.
So
Now, if this was something that at first was consensual and then it was retracted back, now this is where you go into the gray territory, right?
well, no. Yes means yes, and then no means no once no is said.
Well, no, I understand that. So
Right.
what if it was all yes, yes, yes until the deed was done, and then after that, oh, I regret this, and now it's
Well, no,
a
that's
no.
different.
That's what I'm trying to say.
But, no, that's not
So
what
we
you
don't know
said,
what's
though. You
going on.
said-
So they need to go through this and figure out what's going on. So I'm either way, I'm not gonna label Tiki or this girl one way or another way until they figure it out. Is that what you're asking?
No,
Okay. Okay.
no. I was only just asking, what do you guys
All I know is
think
that
about somebody like that being in such a high place, right? And that happening to them. And my favorite part of the whole video is what he said at the end, which is he's gone and said this thing and nobody else is talking about it,
Mm.
right? So that to me was the most interesting part.
Well, maybe because they don't think this is happening. I don't know.
I don't
Or
know.
maybe it's
even
not
if,
controversial
even
enough.
if they didn't think it was happening, they would. It's definitely controversial enough.
in their world,
Yeah,
in
it's
their
extremely
social
controversial
bubble, I
for
think
one
it
of the
is.
biggest managers in the UFC to be getting sued by the former champion that's still fighting, known as fucking Sean Strickland, dog. Like, it's one of the most controversial, talked about fighters right now in the past couple of years, just because of all the shit he's doing. And the fact that he went out and is accusing somebody, or quote unquote accusing, not accusing, whatever.
Well, no, I
that
get
they're
what
not
you're
talking
saying,
about
but
it. That's
what we
interesting to
know
me.
right now, it's he said, she said, right? This is what we know so
Regardless,
far.
I just think it's interesting what he said. If what he said is true, that none of these articles in press media, businesses or companies from the UFC world or MMA world were not reporting on what he was saying, I think that's a little fishy.
What here? Let me ask you a question. Then. Do you believe what he says is to be true?
I have no idea because I
Okay.
haven't seen anything.
So if you have no idea, that means UFC or any of these news outlets, if they're following the same mentality,
Since when do these people think logically on what they report on and what don't report on? What
no,
are you
let's just
saying, bro?
entertain what I'm trying to say. Just entertain the idea.
They talk about whatever he said. Bro, they talked about him going and shooting and just chasing a guy with a gun in front of his house.
Which he
That
did.
shit was hilarious.
Which he did. He
Okay,
did.
but
There's
that's
a
what I'm saying.
video
Like
of it.
anything this guy does or talks about, they go and they report.
Yeah,
on.
because this guy says it or does it, and there's a proof of it that he says it and does it.
Okay, well he's saying this.
Well, he's saying this, but there's no proof behind what he's
Okay.
saying.
I think you saying that the reason these companies aren't reporting anything because there's no proof is a very not valid excuse for them not reporting on it. Oh, he's just saying it. Yeah, bro, they're gonna report on it, dog. Like he could go out there like right now.
It's like the
Let me ask you this: why did everyone go and report on Israel Adesanya talking about the monster symbol being 666 and all this shit, even though there's no proof on it?
I don't know. Good
Because
question.
he's Israel fucking Adesanya, and he was talking about
Just
some
put his name
conspiracy
on-
theory.
I haven't,
or
heard,
anything like
I
that.
haven't heard about it, so
Everyone was talking about that.
I'm clear. I'm
Well, they
honest
were
as
literally
hell,
just
I've never
talking
heard
about
it.
that last time at Ozzy's house during the fight. Like it was a topic up until literally the other day, right? Why did nobody say anything about this? That's interesting to me.
yeah, I
at
see where you're
least.
coming from.
No, I get what you're saying. That is nobody's talking about anything. I understand that. I understand that because there's a lot of that is going on with our current elections as well. Like that, I get what you're saying. That people are being quiet about one thing versus another thing, right? Now I don't know why they're not reporting about this. Is this a sign of being fishy or not? I don't know. I would like to see where he goes to, because if anything, if he's definitely like one of those people, he does need to get like that. People need to get justice for it. Like whatever he did, his name should be there, and his life should be fucking
Like
completely.
in my head,
ruined.
even the media outlets that would be against him would go out and say like, "Oh, Sean Strickland is claiming
Talking
this and
shit,
this and
yeah.
this," and like put him in a bad light, right? Because they can form this shit however they want. They can make the narrative into whatever they want in whatever manner. But the fact that it's like crickets, nobody's saying nothing.
The
Well, it
thing
could
is,
be-
they'd like to make that money while the news is hot and it hasn't even gone to court. So that way people start talking and talking and talking and sharing, just like we are right now.
And so that way they tune in to what actually happens.
Exactly. So then once they have that case, they're able to write another article and finally give it some rest.
If he's a manager of a bunch of fighters, right? News outlets could also know this, that he's a manager of a bunch of fighters, and they don't want to, let's say, write about this unless there is a full proof.
But that's what I was saying. I thought about that, Jay, but at the same time, they could write about it and make Sean the one in bad light and technically side with Tiki, and they're not doing that either, right? Because in my head, right? I'm just theory. It's almost like I can't root for him, but I also can't root against him.
I think
Because if I root for him, I ain't getting caught with him when he gets caught with his bullshit, and I ain't rooting against him because he's paying me right now.
Well, yeah, or they just want him, like, let him do the job. Let's see how far this, like, how it's gonna play out, and then we'll jump on it when need to be. I think that's what they're doing. They're just waiting.
I don't know.
Building a case.
Not necessarily building a case, because they can build a case just like you said, either way, right or left. You know, they can build a case no matter what. But I don't know, man. It's hard to say. Strickland is known for saying wild shit as well. You know, so
we had a guy get rescued inside of his St. Petersburg home recently. His house was on fire.
okay. Wait, is there, like, what's the cool part about this story?
No, I just saw that there was this guy rescued in St. Petersburg. I saw it was a local story. I thought it was maybe interesting.
Good thing you didn't get shot. Oh.
Back up,
Been
back
getting
up, back
ready
up.
to be shot by cops.
Watch your hands.
Oh shit! Yeah, he's trying to bang the window open.
Oh shit.
How do I get through? Sir!
That's just scary.
Sir, open your bedroom door. Okay, come here. I got you.
How the fuck is he not able to climb out?
Sounds like an older man.
Well, he got a big belly or something?
Nah, he sounds like he's old.
My car. That's over there. Come on.
Come on, sir. Get your ass. I got him.
I don't have my ass.
Okay, I got you. I got you.
He's like older.
Sounds like he's older.
Yeah, the article would say probably how old is he.
Okay, I'm putting you down.
Is there anybody else in the house?
Are you sure? I'm sure.
What does the article say?
Police said that officers Tyler Marnick and Zaria Smith responded to a hang-up call near Paris Avenue and 6th Street South around 9:30 p.m. While in the area, they spotted smoke and heard a man's cries for help. The officers located the home and found that a man was trapped inside a bedroom. Officer Marnick went into the home twice to try to reach the man, but had to leave both times due to the heat and smoke. The officers then removed the bedroom window frame and pulled the man to safety. The man was taken to a nearby hospital after suffering severe cuts and burns.
Okay, so probably the window was broken and he was getting cut as it was coming out.
Yeah, that's probably what happened.
Yeah.
He initially was breaking the window, right?
That's what happened. Okay, that makes sense.
It's tough, man. You see a fucking burning building like that, you don't know
Have you
what
guys-
the fuck to do.
Have you guys ever stood in front of like a decent sized fire?
It's fucking hot, man.
That shit's hot,
Hot
bro.
as hell,
that
bro.
shit's hot. Imagine that being in an enclosed
done it.
environment.
I've done like a campfire before. That's
That-
hot.
Yeah, that ain't shit in comparison to like a big fire.
Yeah, like a big fire. Like for example, in Ocala, when we used to have a house out there, we used to burn our trash. Right, big fire would come out of that, decent size. Things like that. Like when I'm talking about a fire the size of this room or bigger than that, right? Like big. It's just like when fires get that big, it's almost like the way that the heat amplifies. It almost doesn't make sense when you're standing around it. It feels so fucking hot.
We used to, there was a year where we all get together with ballet friends and would take our old Christmas trees, make a big bonfire and
Yeah.
burn them. The minute you throw that Christmas tree,
Bro,
that
they
shit
burn up
goes
so
up in
quick.
fire like that, and then the flames are just like fucking shooting up
Yeah.
like 20 feet up in the air.
That's one of the biggest risks that people take when getting natural pine Christmas trees. They pine.
Cause that's sap, yeah, that sap inside. It's like fucking.
It's flammable.
That sap is literally like flint. It just burns
I
and burns
don't think
quick.
it's the sap. I think it's how dry the trees get.
The dryness of the tree and the sap itself.
Really?
That juice inside.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah, the juicy side is pretty. Yeah, they catch on fire
What
very
else we have? I
quickly.
had a bunch of stuff I posted in general before.
Because like in wintertime, when the wood is frozen, it's very hard to light it on fire. The pine wood is like.
I thought this was interesting. You guys remember? Did we talk about this ever? So this is like a little human AI thing that Humane's daily returns are outpacing sales. So this is
I saw this, but
mobile AI
did,
thing.
yeah, didn't understand what the fuck
Right,
it's all
so it's
about. I didn't
basically
get
like a
into it.
translator and a bunch of other things. It's basically like a what's the thing that Iron Man has? What's it called? The fuck. Iron Man's AI assistant. What's his name?
Gatsby.
Jarvis.
Jarvis.
So think of it as Jarvis. That's kind of like Jarvis for a daily person. Apparently this thing is not do very well. So it's $699 and apparently it's people are returning it like crazy. Why do you think what do you think the main reason people would be returning this item?
I mean,
Like what feature do you think is the most overhyped feature?
I don't. What features
probably
were
the
the ones that were
translation.
advertised?
Things like translator or quick search, stuff like that. Just think of it as something you can. It's basically like a better Hey Siri, right?
I think
And it's a pin.
the main
It's something
reason
you wear on you.
the
It's like
main
a
reason
fucking
why
brush.
people would probably return this product is because it doesn't work as intended. It's inaccurate. It doesn't.
So you think it's just not good enough yet?
Yeah. That's probably
Okay,
what
that
it
makes
is.
sense. I think that's valid. Because to me, it sounds like pretty cool. And if I had $700, I'd try it out.
If you're saying translation, I think it's got to be a conversational translation, and I bet that's the part that's fucking lagging.
What do
Like-
you mean by conversational?
So if I'm speaking my language, and it reads it and then translates it to the person that doesn't speak my language, picks up their language, translates it to me so I understand what the fuck it's saying. And I think that between and all the noise around wherever you are is
how else
probably
would you
not
do it
working good.
though?
Huh?
How else would you do it?
I think the best way right now we have is like, because these mics have to be directional mics, and we know that, for example, with an iPhone, those headphones, I mean, they're good mics if you're in a room with no noise. But the minute you go out there and there's noise around you, people can't hear what the fuck you're saying because the mics are compensating, right? So I think if you come closer and then go back and forth, I think that'll be better.
I don't know if that would. I don't know.
Because it's I think it's the microphone technology is not there for that specific application. Because microphones are, I mean, we know this with the podcast.
I don't see
man.
that. I don't know if that necessarily be an issue because usually AI is pretty well at detecting what you're saying.
No. What I'm saying is, if it's here and there's a bunch of noise around, and he has to compensate for the
I know
noise
that's what
and
I'm saying.
also
I've used
listen
AI
to it.
to like talking to my phone while I'm in the office. There's music playing, people servicing clients. Like there's noise going on, and I've never had any issues with talking into it. And I've used it quite a bit.
But going like this, talking into it, or at a distance.
Actually through my headphone.
No, that's right there, right?
I mean, so the pin would be right here.
So a headphone that picks up the microphone, right? It picks up, but then you would still do the noise cancellation, right? Like
I have some
somewhat.
pretty shitty headphones.
I don't know, man. I think that's the one that's what's not working. But
I think I agree with Miggy. I think it's probably just not fully there yet.
Let me read a little bit into it. Between May and August,
oh, you don't know what it is?
No, I haven't read the
Oh,
article
okay.
yet.
shortly
I'll
after
find out with
Humane
you guys.
released its $699 AI pin in April, the returns started flowing in. So it's a pin. It's a wearable pin.
So $6.99.
That's what
It
it is.
probably doesn't justify the price. Number one.
Between May and August, more AI pins were returned than purchased, according to internal sales data obtained by The Verge. By June, only around 8,000 units hadn't been returned. A source with direct knowledge of sales and return data told me. As of today, the number of units still in customers' hands had fallen closer to 7,000. A source with direct knowledge said.
Just doesn't work.
At launch, the AI pen was met with overwhelmingly negative reviews. Our own David Pierce said it just doesn't work. And Marquez Brownlee called it the worst product he's ever reviewed. Damn.
Yo, that's a
fucking
crazy
That's a big
review
name
from
to
like,
associate a bad review.
and
with.
that's like the goat of product reviews right there. Like one of the goats of product reviews.
But I mean, you didn't know that this shit doesn't work, and you would give this to people like to test. Like you know when your product doesn't work.
And
You
then
know
you
what
go
I'm
and
saying?
sell for $700 like some flagship item.
Yeah, bro. Like you know your shit doesn't work, man. It's like if you test it in specific conditions in a lab where it's got to be this or that and for it to work. Like, no, bro. Like, how the fuck do you just? And
Look
like,
at that, Mickey.
here. Would you honestly have that shit? Would you honestly pay $700 just to have that thing hanging on your pocket versus picking up your phone and saying, "Hey Siri"?
I'd rather just pick out my pocket, just not to pay the $6.99.
Yeah, I just go and fucking use ChatGPT. It takes me 2 seconds, but that's worth the $6.99, dog.
Well, no, Chat GPT is gonna be now incorporated with Siri. You know that, right?
Right, but I'm saying even if it's not, it's a fucking app. So it takes me 2 seconds to go to the app.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Or I could literally say, "Hey Siri, open ChatGPT for me," and it goes to the app and it opens it. Like, and then I can just click on the microphone button and I talk into it.
That's another piece of equipment that you need to carry with you. That's another piece of electronic you need to worry about fucking charging. There's another piece of I don't know, man. I think it's just people are like coming out with like here's the bottom line. Apple and Android have the market locked down on carryable
Bro,
electronics. Period.
I went today to this weekend to Best Buy, and I saw Evan. Hung out with Evan for a little bit, and I saw Motorola release their own version of the flip phone. It's horrible.
Yeah.
It's horrible.
Yeah, and they're saying that the new iPhone, not this one, but the next one that's coming in, is gonna be called iPhone Slim, and this prediction is that they're gonna be foldable. I don't know if that's gonna be the case because Apple usually waits on this, before they're released.
I think it would be really cool to see Apple say, fuck it, we're not gonna go for the fold and what's kind of nifty look. Let's do something a little different. And Slim gave me the idea of like a phone that's extremely fucking thin.
The problem with that is, how do you make it durable for it not to bend? Even titanium. Remember, people were fucking bending the shit out of them by just being in their pocket.
Using cheap, flimsy titanium, bro. There's real good shit that will be sturdy. Trust me.
How much is that phone gonna cost? Let's just look at it that way too.
Well,
they would make it cost a lot more, but it wouldn't really have to cost a lot more if you think about it.
the phone that you're thinking about is gonna be the iPhone 17 Air, which is what's been rumored to be called.
Is the 16 even out yet?
No, this September.
But the 17
have they released any videos on the 16?
Not that I know of.
Okay.
But I can check to see if there's anything.
I'm gonna be
in regards to it.
upgrading to the 16.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
I
Too.
think I am as well.
Yeah, I got
have
a 12
the-
Pro Max at this time.
Me too. Yeah,
But
it's
I'm getting the smaller one this time. I'm not.
I
getting
think
the
I'm
big-
gonna get the smaller one too.
I want the smaller one as well, just because it's easier.
I just hate how much this shit falls out of my pocket, homie. And I don't watch that many videos.
Same.
I do watch a lot of videos.
Yeah, but it's still big enough. It's still
But
over 6-inch
for
screen.
you, I don't know. For you, I don't know if it's worth it because that camera is gonna be probably better than on a smaller one.
No, because they don't do that anymore. Where only the big version gets the best camera. You can get the same camera in the small one.
No
now.
shit.
Yeah.
Well then, get the small
You
one.
can get
Because
you can
what
just get
they
the
used
pro
to-
versions.
They used to have it to where they only had the Pro Max with the best camera.
Yeah.
That was used to be like that.
So no more.
But no, I think starting
For
with
a while, I think 15, 14, something.
13.
Yeah, somewhere there. Someone
Since like my version, yes. I think you can only get the best camera with the big one. That's one of the reasons I think my mom got the big one. But after that, they started coming out with the just normal iPhone 13 Pro instead of it having to be the Pro Max and get the nice camera.
But you still have the regular base iPhone 13 regular as well.
Yeah. I'm gonna get the small one.
Shit,
just
we're
because
still on the 60 hertz
too big.
screen. He's got a 120 hertz.
It's too big. Mine is a 14.
Yeah, so yours has the 120 hertz.
No, is it my 14 or 13?
13,
No.
14 already has it. Ours was the last one, I think, was 60 hertz.
Yeah, is that the? I have
The
the
only thing that
12,
I'm gonna
and the-
miss about that is having
14.
that that space to be able to watch video. It's just nice.
I don't know. I'm gonna check it out. When I go look at it, I'm gonna look at both and
I don't
watch a
think
video
that-
on both and see I'll make my decision right there.
I
and
don't
then.
know
care.
why. It's just the ability for me to be able to type everything with one hand just seems so convenient.
Yes. Thank you. Like holding it in one hand,
It's
typing in one
hard for
hand.
me to
Yeah.
type.
I hate when you're like trying to type with these and
And
you
you're
gotta do
Yes.
this shit.
Yeah.
You gotta
yeah.
like
That
reach
shit's
across
annoying,
and
dude.
do this shit
Yeah.
and then put the phone back where it is and then oh shit, I forgot there's another letter there. So you literally have to like readjust your grip because you can't quite reach. So you gotta do
Yeah.
this shit and go across. Oh, also like, have you guys been using phones long enough where you have the pinky dip a little bit? I definitely have.
Pinky dip. Well, I have that from fucking jujitsu. I'm growing this bone from the jujitsu.
No. But I'm saying like.
I think
Yeah.
I think
Well, you mean you keep it for a long time and then you get that little thing there?
No, but like literally, watch.
No, I
Go
know
like
what you're
that?
saying. Yeah.
And then do it on this one.
Yeah.
It's a lot more.
Yeah.
And that's just from holding your phone there. That constant weight that's sitting literally right there on your pinky. Because
Mine
you
is-
put it in the same
I don't
spot.
have that.
Mine
though.
is from. Yeah, mine is from.
I don't know. I think it's because of the
I
way
think
I
you
held my
just
phone.
fucked up your hand.
Do you
don't
hold
even
your
know.
pinky? Do you hold your phone on your pinky
Yeah.
like that?
When
how
I
do you
hold
hold
my
it?
phone? Yeah, hold it like that. I put my pinky down there.
Yeah, but you see how you have yours slanted? That's a little different. See, mine comes like straight under it. You see what I mean? So the phone goes straight across the
That's
pinky.
not comfortable as a motherfucker for me.
Yeah, I mean that's just the way you're used to it, though. You know what I mean? Like,
I just hold it like right there, just at the bottom.
see, holding it slanted feels uncomfortable to me because I'm used to doing it like this.
So weird.
What else do we
So
have?
weird, man. How everybody does everything so different.
Remember that I was talking to you about yeah, go ahead. I was talking is this
I had
the
more
one?
stuff in the Discord.
Yeah. Remember I was talking to you about yeah, go ahead. Click on it.
Surprisingly easy way to remove microplastics from your drinking water.
All right.
So I
let's
wanted
talk
to
about
hear this
yeah.
because we've been hearing, oh, everyone has a, what is it, credit card worth of plastic every year ingested into them, which to me doesn't sound that bad. I thought it was worse. To be honest. A credit card, like that's
Toast me that thing, please.
All right. So it says there's a surprisingly easy way to remove microplastics from your drinking water. Tiny fragments of microplastics are making their way deep inside our bodies in concerning quantities, significantly through our food and drink. Scientists have recently found a simple and effective means of removing them from water.
Oh wait. I think I read something like this, and I think when I read it, there's no way to do this like domestically. If I'm not
domestically.
Continue.
From
You mean like
Medical
residential, like
University
home, like in your
and
house?
Jinan University in China ran tests on both soft water and hard tap water, which is richer in minerals, adding in nanoplastics and microplastic NMPs before boiling the liquid and then filtering out any precipitates. In some cases, up to 90% of the NMPs were removed by the boiling and filtering process, though the effectiveness varied based on type of water. Of course, the big benefit that most people can do it using what they already have in their kitchen.
Okay. All right. So it's not that.
So it's simply boiling the water.
The simple boiling water strategy can decontaminate NMPs from household tap water and has the potential for harmlessly alleviating human intake of NMPs through water consumption, write the researchers in their paper published in February. A greater concentration of NMPs was removed from samples of hard tap water, which naturally forms a buildup of limescale or calcium carbonate as it is heated, commonly seen inside kitchen kettles. The chalky substance forms on plastic surface as changes in temperature force the calcium carbonate out of solution, effectively trapping the plastic fragments in a crust.
I think that's good. So basically, you can just boil the water, huh?
Yeah, boiling the water, but then
They were saying like the effectiveness varies.
yeah, I think the best way to do it is obviously distill it, right? You boil it and you collect just the fucking fumes of the water, and then just distill it down to just water. But then
It
distill
sure as hell is a
distill
simple way, but it's not fucking convenient. That's for sure,
No, yeah.
right? Like, who's
It's
gonna
not.
every time they go to drink water, like boil it?
You want to hear something
Or
funny?
if you're gonna boil it, but then you're gonna put it right back in a plastic bottle, it's gonna build microplastics up again. Anyways,
You want to hear something funny? So, when we lived in Armenia, the water came in from the mountains, right? So it filtered through natural water. And Armenia is known for having really good fresh water, right? Matter of fact, throughout the entire city, as you go around, there's a bunch of water fountains everywhere.
yeah.
When we went to Odessa for vacation, Odessa is part of the Russia by the sea where they had the Olympic Games, right? When we were in Odessa, the water quality was known to be shit, and my mom would literally not allow us to even like take a shower or anything in that water. So she would put the water out, either boil it or put it out in the sun, get it hot, and only then we would use it to drink or shower. So it's possible to
It's
do,
weird. The
but it's
water
a pain in
fountains you
the
guys
ass.
have out there are like these fountains that just have constant water.
Constant water.
Yeah.
Constant water, because that water basically drains down into the ground, gets filtered through into the aquifer, and then comes back up.
Yeah, it's pretty sick. We've seen those. We talked about those before.
Yeah, I always thought that was interesting.
But
after
it's not
learning
just
that.
Armenia. Italy has the same
That's what I'm
thing.
saying. All around Europe.
Yeah,
right?
whatever you have mountains, you have these little fountains of water, and they usually come in. That's actual mineral water. Mineral water basically has the minerals in it, like the good salts, magnesium, sodium, calcium. They have those salts. But the problem with us, we have the limestone shit in our water. You know, the lime deposits. That's what's bad.
Yeah, because those are the natural stuff that, you know, the earth gives us. When we get this water, we try and introduce those minerals into our water, which are not that great. They're chemicals.
Well, the limestone, just our ground is all sand and limestone right underneath us, right? So, you know, if you're in Colorado, or if you were in California, like if we ever go down to like go up to North or South Lake Tahoe, their water is absolutely delicious, straight from the tap. It reminds me of water in Armenia, straight from the tap. It's delicious because it filters
I
through
don't trust
mountains.
I'm a
water.
firm believer in the fact that if you're thirsty enough, any water is amazing.
Yes, I agree with you, but when I'm telling you, bro, like
I agree, Jimmy.
When-
I hate Zephyr Hills, but when it's a hot day outside,
yeah, but I'm telling you, bro, when you drink, that's the only tap water that I ever had in the United States. I was like, holy shit, this water. It literally, you drink the water and it tastes delicious.
what's your most disliked bottled water brand?
Aquafina,
Dasani.
Dasani or Aquafina, either one.
Yeah, mine. No, yeah, you
They're,
guys
they're,
got it.
they're sweet.
They taste like plastic.
Yeah, they're sweet.
Number one, they taste like plastic. They're all of the bottles taste like plastic. to me.
No,
But that one
not
tastes
all the
sweet to
Not
me.
all the bottles taste like plastic.
I can see the sweet. I don't know about the plastic taste. I don't really give a fuck about the plastic taste.
They taste chemically to me. That sweet taste you're talking about to me tastes like chemicals.
Yeah.
Which is why I don't like it.
Yeah.
And apparently, Aquafina and Dasani is like the worst water.
My
you can buy.
go-to is just the brand shit. Great value water.
Talking about
like
Zac
spring
Efron,
water.
bro. He went. I think he was in Italy or France.
Zac Efron?
I don't know if it was in Italy or France. He went on like a water tour, and the sommelier guy, that's like a water sommelier, brought him different bottles of water and explained which one is better than the other one. And he was talking about like Aquafina, Dasani's, Fiji water,
I've seen
why they're good or
something-
why they're bad. You
I've
know
seen
what I mean?
something like this, but with 2 Chainz and the most expensivest shit. You guys
Oh,
ever
yeah.
watch that show?
That shit's amazing. I love that
fucking
shit.
Cool, dude.
He's
That's fucking
hilarious. He's hilarious. He goes around and does the craziest stuff. I love that show. The most expensive is some sort like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen that a couple of times. Yeah, but, go to Ty Lopez.
That motherfucker reviewed Air.
You know who's Ty Lopez?
awesome. Yes.
Yes.
So, okay, so I don't need to give an intro about Ty Lopez. Oh, actually, go to that article before you go to Ty Lopez. I don't know how true this is. This is coming in from, so go to the top of the America's far right turns on Donald Trump campaign. Who this is Nick Fuentes and all of these people, right? Go down. Right-wing political pundits Nick Fuentes and Laura Loomer, which I don't think Laura Loomer really went that far, have launched attacks on former President Donald Trump current campaign strategy. Usually unwavering supporters of Trump, they have now declared open opposition, with Fuentes announcing a new Groyper war against the campaign. So Fuentes has been known to get canceled everywhere, right? Of his he has crazy views. Like not very, I don't even want to say PC, man. It just goes past that. Like borderline Nazi views. You know what I mean? On things.
Okay.
And well, Donald Trump's been,
I've heard the name. The only thing I've heard about the name is that he's an extremist.
Yes, he's very extremist, but it's not only extremist like being extreme like them boys in the woods extreme, right? Like he goes the step beyond, kind of like Kanye type of shit.
Okay.
And
So he's Kanye, but he don't got no meds.
yeah, he's Kanye basically with no meds, and he's very intelligent. So he knows how to put his sentences together.
Okay.
But he's very, very extreme on things, right? And he's been canceled on pretty much everything, put on FBI watch list, things like that, like where he couldn't fly out, to the point where he couldn't take a domestic flight because he would be flagged as domestic terrorist for the longest time. And then I think he was reinstated on X. And then I don't know if he's still on there. But he's very outspoken against Jews. He's very outspoken about saying that 1944 atrocities didn't happen, or not, they happened but not to the magnitude that we like to think they did, you know, just shit like that. And Donald Trump's been said
He's a Nazi.
he's not, because if you listen to him, he doesn't come out really straight up say that,
But no,
But a lot of people.
Well, that you, bro, you explained to me in my head, like you've explained enough to me that.
Well, that's the assumption everybody else makes, right? He's never come out himself and said that.
Well, yeah, he doesn't come out with the swastika
Correct.
himself.
Correct.
And praise. And
So
put his
there's no
hand
really
up and
like,
shit.
there's no really 100% proof. It's just like whatever you say can be contributed to this. Thus, you are this. You know
Sounds
what I
like
mean?
Pretty
But
goddamn proof to me.
the point of this is, Trump has been, basically Trump has been colored as somebody that has ties to the far right,
Okay.
right? And now far right comes out and says Trump is not good enough for us.
Okay, who do they want?
I don't know who they want, but that's not the point. The point is, if they're going against Trump, is Trump really that far right? This is my question. I don't know. It's up to you to decide, but he's mad because keeps what? Campaigning on Kamala's race. Mad at Trump that he keeps campaigning on Kamala's race. What? Anyway, I don't understand what he's saying. The point is that he's mad at him, right? So apparently Trump is not enough far right. So can you be really labeled far right
not
when far
racist
right comes
enough.
up? Yeah. Well, then it's not a question whether he's racist enough or not racist enough. It's a
making a
question.
joke.
Yeah. The question is like, well, if he's that far right, why is far right not support him?
Well, there's different extremes, right? Like, there's always been those different branches within the right and the left communities.
Yeah.
So,
Of course. So then that means he's
Doesn't
not
mean-
that far right.
well, no, it doesn't mean that he's not that far right. He just doesn't fall in that sector of the far right. You know what I mean? That's what I'm trying to say.
But they literally wanted to say that he has Nazi ties.
Okay.
Trump has Nazi ties. When the biggest Nazis out there, according to Alex, are saying that he's not good enough. So,
Okay.
All right.
I don't know. But anyway,
Let's keep on
I thought that
fishing.
was kind of interesting.
We're not coming back to politics.
Yeah,
It's
we're not.
over.
Go back to Ty Lopez's shit. And I want you to listen to this.
I hate this shit with the fucking GTA.
How much money did Bill Gates' father have? He was a millionaire in Seattle. Let's say he was worth $2 million. What's the most he could have given his son? He ain't gonna give him all his money. Jeff Bezos' parents lent him 100 grand or 150 grand. That's not the thing. It's that the Bill Gates' dad was the most powerful lawyer in Seattle. I promise you, Bill Gates still is dealing with guys that his dad introduced him to when he was 12. Warren Buffett, second generation, Omaha, Nebraska. His grandfather is one of the most powerful judges. Imagine your dad is a judge in LA and you want to get into real estate. And he starts going around. Judges are powerful because they got the power to destroy people's freedom. It's like, yo, meet my son Raymond. Your Honor, one day he might want to do some real estate deals. You might want to answer the phone and lend him some money. It's not that rich parents give their kids money. They give them their contact book. How much money did Bill Gates' father?
And this is what I was saying, that I don't really necessarily agree that if you're rich, you somehow have a leg ahead. It's just that the connections they get introduced to give you the opportunity to have that leg ahead, right? And if you got two brain cells to get together, you capitalize on these connections. But if you don't, then you don't, right?
That's true. Networking, having connections, knowing people.
Yeah.
It's a huge part of life.
Because like Elon Musk, like a lot of people dog Elon Musk, like that his dad was rich, this and that, dad gave him money. Elon Musk lived with 12 dudes in one house. Out of those 12 dudes, one went to open LinkedIn. The other ones went and opened one of the largest privately owned funds, venture capital funds. Another ones went to open fucking, I forget what it was. Another YouTube, I think YouTube, and then the YouTube got bought out. So Elon
The
Musk,
YouTube CEO passed away, I think, over the
I think it
weekend.
was YouTube. Don't quote me on that YouTube part, but
Susan Waschek.
yeah. So the point here is that, he came in with connections. When his companies were kind of failing, guess who he called? His venture
Ghostbusters.
capital buddies. Yeah, but Ghostbusters. They were the Ghostbusters, right? Venture capital buddies, and said, "Hey, lend me money." You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I don't know if it's the money that makes these people rich. It's just
I think it's a combination of both.
well, I mean, $150,000 being almost $1 trillion
I think
company.
it's a
is that what
combination of both.
How? How is $150,000 gonna get you where you need
Bro,
to
you're talking
be?
about one specific case.
Pull
I'm
up
saying on a
Vanderbilt.
broad spectrum, I think it's a combination
Pull
of
up
both.
Vanderbilts.
There's no way you can't agree with that. That on a
No, I
broad
don't agree with that.
spectrum, on a broad spectrum, it's not a combination of both.
No, I don't think so. Vanderbilt, no, not the university. Vanderbilt in Wikipedia.
This is a conversation that doesn't even need to be had then.
What do you mean? If I don't agree with what you're saying, what do you mean there's no conversation to be had?
This is not a conversation to be had then.
Vanderbilt's okay. Vanderbilt's was a family, is a historic family. Henry Vanderbilt had a bunch of money, right? Like the dad got a bunch of money. And then he gave it to the sons. With sons kind of continued. The sons gave it to the sons. Guess how many of them have money now? None. They all lost their money. All of them. First generation is 70% most likely to squander all of the money that you leave them. 90% chance is that the third generation is going to squander all the money you leave them. Right?
We've talked about this statistic a million
Yes.
times. Okay.
So the point here is it's not the money. Yes, does money play a role, but it doesn't play that much of a role as we think it does.
I said it. Right. So why don't you ever just agree with the thing that you're gonna come to agree with me later? I said it's a combination of both.
But it's not really a combination. Okay, if you're saying that it's a combination of both, if it's 90% who they are.
I didn't give any
10%,
percentages.
okay.
I didn't say 50-50. I said it's a combination of both.
Well, if you're gonna go and say, well, that could swing back and forth, then I agree with you.
That's exactly what I
Yeah,
said. I
but
said overall. So, oh my God, Jay, why don't you just listen to me sometimes?
Because
bro?
the reason I don't listen to you.
No, because you're just assuming that I'm going to saying it's 50-50. You're making assumptions on what
Yes,
I'm
because
saying.
a lot of times people say it's their money, it's the parents' money that got them to be where they are. And then
Did
a
I
lot of
say
times
that?
people will say, well, after you give them the
You
proof
should
that
listen and stop
well,
making
no,
assumptions.
stop. After a lot of times when you give them proof, just like your friend Alex, when you give them the proof, he says, "Oh, okay, well now it's a combination of two things, right?" So they
You
don't
do that all the time.
Yes, yeah, I do that too. Of course, that's a human factor. We do it. I'm not gonna sit here and like you. I
Okay.
don't. Okay, that's not the point. The point here is that anytime you speak to your friend Alex, he says it's the rich people. They have money.
I
That's
don't know
why they're
you brought
successful.
Alex into this.
Because
Nothing
he's
to
the
do
one
with
that usually talks about this.
But we're talking about me and you right now.
You are correct.
Okay, so why'd you bring
It's
Alex?
a combination. I don't think the money means that much in this whole
I
equation.
think sometimes it means a lot and sometimes it doesn't.
I don't think it means a lot in any time.
Okay.
I'm just telling you, at any time it doesn't mean a lot.
You know why I think it sometimes it sometimes mean a lot?
Change my mind.
Because sometimes some of these guys are gonna try a million times and then they're gonna finally get it. And why were they able to try a million times? Because they had the money.
Okay, cool. I understand that. I understand that. That's probably where that 70%, that 30%.
I don't know what the percent. I'm not saying.
No. What I'm
just
saying is,
I think it's a combination of both, and in some cases it may be more this, and in some cases it may be more that.
so I think what you're saying is that 30% of the time, like first generation, the 30% of the time that are not going to squander your money, I can see that 30% having that. Yeah.
A mix. I don't know. It's just
Yeah,
a
I
mix.
can see that 30% having that, but they also have to have the intelligence capacity behind it to get that done, right?
Right, knowing
So-
how to use the connection. Anyone that's
Yeah, so
smart
if you
enough.
weren't Warren Buffett, no matter how many connections your grandpa had, you might have not been able to do that, right? Or if you weren't Bill Gates, no matter how much money your dad left you, you weren't able to continue to do that. My point is that money, maybe it does help you, but money doesn't mean shit because a lot of times these trust fund babies never go anywhere. Statistically, they don't go anywhere.
Well, they don't go anywhere and they don't do nothing for themselves, but they still probably live an awesome life because they had the money to back it up.
Yes, but the probability of them
I mean, you have to break it down like that, bro. Just because someone doesn't go and do anything with their lives doesn't mean they had bad life. Some of these guys are sitting on the fucking beaches of the DR all year round, sipping like doing whatever the fuck they want just because daddy's money, bro. Like,
Yes.
you know what I mean? Doesn't mean they lived a bad life though.
But that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the idea that when they say, well, if your parents have money, somehow this is the reason you're successful, kind of like in the case of Amazon, where we keep saying, well, dad gave him money, or case of Trump, well, dad gave him money, right? Whereas $1 million, whereas like a couple of billion, right? Whether it's inflated or not inflated, I'm not getting into that argument. What I'm trying to say, it doesn't necessarily mean you're going to get there if you have the money.
Right.
What it means, if you have the intellectual capacity, it might take you longer, but you have more of a chance to get there if you have the intellectual capacity versus having the money. This is my argument. If you have the money but you don't have the intellectual capacity, I don't care, you're not getting there. But if you have the intellectual capacity and you don't have the money, you probably will get there.
Depends.
Well, obviously, yes, depends. Like if you become a scientist and you dedicate your life working only in the lab,
I mean,
you're just gonna be that scientist. But even in your field, you're going to have some sort of a success if you are truly that smart.
yeah, I don't know, because one of those things is uh knowing the right people, presenting
Yes.
yourself, being in the right place at the right time.
Yeah, and I think the
Those kind
knowing
of
the
things.
right people, is a bigger part of that equation than money. Do you see what I mean? Like
Yeah, I think that may
knowing the
play a
right people,
part.
because I can have all the money in the world. If I don't have the right connection, I don't care how much money I have. People are gonna say, "Oh yeah, yeah, we'll do it. Take your money," and they say,
But
"Oops, it didn't work."
at the same time, I can know all the right people, but with no money to invest with, what the fuck am I gonna do?
Correct. Kind of like what happens to the club promoters. Club promoters will know a lot of rich people, but yet all of them are fucking broke. They never get that break, right?
Mm-hmm.
That could be part of that too.
I like what you guys said there. You could have the money, but not have the social networking,
Mm-hmm.
or you could have the social networking, but you have no money.
Yeah. Well, you got to have a little bit of money if you're gonna social network, right? Like I'm not saying you need to be popping bottles with them on their level at $5,000 a
But you
pop.
need to pay your cover to get in the club, dog.
You just need to get your
And
cover to
buy
pay the
and buy a tequila cran just to show off, just so you can have a cup in your
that,
hand.
or get enough hot girls to go with you where you're going in for free,
Yeah,
right?
but that means you already got the money.
No, not necessarily.
Nowadays, it definitely does.
If you have like
Because
it-
even nowadays, bro, if you talk, you can talk hella game, but I don't think you're gonna get bitches to go to the club.
no,
for
it's not
free.
about talking hella game. If you can, for right now, if there's a hottest club in town, right, and you know the manager and you know the owner of the bar or the manager of the bar, and you say, call him up right now and say, hey, listen, I'm bringing 7 or 10 very good-looking women with me. These are the pictures of these women. They're going to be there. I would like you to comp a table for me because I'm bringing these women over. The managers of the bar would say, yes, come in and I'll comp the table for you.
But how are you getting the chicks?
The getting the chicks part is that's where you start building your social. This is where you need to start building your social circle. You don't get the chicks without having other chicks around. So you got to
But how
start
do you
somewhere.
get the first chick in general? You're gonna have
Yeah.
to get multiple chicks around because you
Correct.
got money.
Because you got to come up with an event of some sort of an event that's going to allow you to bring them over. You don't have to have money to like that's the biggest misconception. You have to have money to talk to chicks nowadays because
Not
chicks
talk
have
to
seen
them,
all
but
that
I'm being
money.
able to saying like to be able to rally 7 chicks into one night and come one place. You're gonna have to have money.
Yeah, you got to offer them a good enough offer where they cannot say no to it.
Right.
Uber XL
Uber XL,
bottle.
Uber Lux.
No, you don't need to. This is the point. You don't need the bottle if you can get into the nightclub for free because you bring in these. Like, okay, a good question, a good example of this was that promoter guy that approached us in Vegas. Hey, come into this nightclub. And he
we had
approached me to
multiple,
talk
yeah.
to me. Right. He was standing there and talking to people. Right. The entire time. He was a promoter. So now, if you approaches somebody, he's like, hey, come in, get into this club for free. Right. Now it's like, okay, let me get your phone number. So next time this happens, he's dialing on his phone number. Hey, I'm getting people in again. Do you want to come in again? Now you have that girl constantly being in your
Right.
contacts coming in. You slowly build that list of the girls that are going to come in with you.
Okay.
So you act as a promoter, but not necessarily work for the nightclub, right? So you got to start somewhere.
Hustling.
That's the whole point. You telling me if you go
Yeah,
up to
hustle motherfuckers out here.
if you go to the security guard or the nightclub owner and say, listen, I don't want to go in. I'm just gonna send a bunch of hot girls over. When I get a group of 7 or 10 hot girls that are gonna come in with me to the nightclub, I would like you to come my table. Are you okay with that? You don't have to pay me anything. And then you go out there on the street and you start hustling and saying, okay, come in, I'm taking you to stock. You get a bunch of fucking girls to go there. You keep the phone numbers of the good looking ones, according to you, whoever are the good looking ones. And then you get a group going at first. And then once you got that group going, then you say, okay, I'm coming in. I want you to give me bottles.
I don't know. From my experience, calling people, that shit ain't easy.
It's not, but that's the job, right? Like that's the one way to go about it. I'm just saying it on a fly right now. I don't do this. You don't do this. This is what I could just think of in a minute. But bottom line, I don't know. The point here is, man, I don't think we fucking segued away, but the point here
Yeah, I
is
think
like
we're
the
good.
connections.
We're good for today.
So the point here is like, will we be billionaires one day? It's probably a fucking zero chance, right? Can we be millionaires? I think we got a good chance of being millionaires. Billionaires, I don't know. But the more than anything throughout the life, I think we should make some connections, which later down the road our kids should be able to use. that's my bottom line.
That motherfucker gotta do it for himself. I'm just kidding.
No, I mean,
All right, guys. Thank you for joining us today. We're gonna wrap up there. We shout out our official sponsors. We didn't talk about that earlier today. The UFC Gym Largo in Pinellas Park and Vitality Wellness Center. Check those things out, guys. We have links in the description to go check those 2 different, or technically 3 different locations out, depending on where you live. Because there's Vitality on 4th Street and on Park Street, and then we have the UFC Gym in Largo as well
there's
as
a couple of
Pinellas Park.
Vitalities gonna be opening up in the gyms as well.
Right.
So
Basically,
maybe
we
have
can
4
have recovery
locations.
studios in the gym. So, guys, go check those things out. We'll see you guys on Thursday. We got a cool guest coming in on Thursday. As of right now, we're still confirmed on that.
Cool guest.
Yeah.
Who's coming in Thursday?
Yeah.
Oh
You forgot. You already forgot.
no, you said cool guest. I'm like, who's a cool guest?
Okay,
What
well,
cool guest coming in.
Damn, Jay. Fuck you.
I mean, it's a guest, right? And I mean, I think we had cooler guests.
Damn.
We
Jay.
have.
That's how you feel. That's how you feel. He's like, cut it. Cut it.
Yo, stop being a sim, goddammit.
Oh shit. Good night, guys.